Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Metaphysical Journey. This is Michael, and this is my card reading for the day. My last recording, I had 34 views and one comment. So this is for my commenter, Gemstone Reiki. And Gemstone Reiki, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you taking the time to make a comment. Um, these readings are going to be for a specific person, but in the message that comes forward for them of what they're dealing with, we are all collectively going to learn from this. There's a lot of great information that will come forward, and I personally learned from these readings as well, and I think you will too. Now, today's is a very important one because this is something that Gemstone Reiki is dealing with, but it's also something that, to some degree, we all are dealing with. So for this, I was drawn to two different decks. They are uniquely different, but Gemstone Reiki, I feel like you probably wouldn't want it any other way, actually. I don't know you, but I just kind of get this sense that you're like, I'm up for that. Let's do it. So the two decks that I was drawn to is What's the Tea? And when I think of what's the tea, I automatically think of RuPaul because he always says the tea and he uses that quite a bit. So what's the tea is the first one. And the second one is Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen Farmer. And to my knowledge, I have never used this one before. It's just been sitting there on my shelf with the other hundreds of decks that I have. So Gemstone Reiki, here's your reading. What's the tea? You have a spiritual hater. They hate on your spirituality, your light, your magic, and your power. Now, I have a feeling this is not just one hater. You probably have a busload of them. There are lots of haters out there, and everyone has this to some degree. And their hate is going to show up in ways such as jealousy for the right up front, jealousy. They're jealous of the work you've been doing. They are jealous of the progress you've been making. Maybe you've started your own business or something and you're working with a spiritual community, or you in some way are using your talents to help other people and not being self-serving with it. And that makes people uncomfortable and they hate that. Why are you having success? They're not. Well, the question to ask is, are they doing anything, making any progress at all, doing any action? More than likely not. Those are the ones that are going to not like that. And they're hating on your spirituality, your growth, your progress, and also your light. You're showing up as a different person now. They can see it, but more importantly, and this is what they don't understand, they can feel it. It's not the same as what it's always been, and it doesn't match what they feel inside. Now, a lot of these people, they have a lot of insecurities, and maybe they also want to expand and grow, but they just don't know how, or they're not comfortable breaking outside of the collective mindset that they're stuck in, and they feel that that's wrong. It could also be some religious stuff going on with people. They're like, that's just not right. That's of the devil. That's this, and that, and that's just a big bag of woo-woo and they want nothing to do with it. So they're automatically, if it makes them uncomfortable, they're going to lash out against it. So your light and your magic, they're they're hating on your magic, which means if it's being called magic, they see some type of alchemy taking place. They see that you are taking things coming in and you're rearranging it, you're changing it, you're transforming it in some way to make something positive. Now, in our world, we all receive a lot of negativity every day coming in. We feel it. We don't always know where it comes from, but we do feel it. And we take that in and we just say, in spite of that, I want to put out something positive. I want to be the best possible person I can be today. That's probably how you approach every day. I'm here to serve others, to be filled with love and light, and to raise that vibration, regardless of how negative it is in the environment I walk into. I want to make a difference. People see that and it makes them uncomfortable and they hate it because they think that you can do something that they can't do when the reality is they could do it too if they chose. And then the last is your power. They don't like your power. And that is what fuels everything you do. It's your energy. You are in touch and in alignment with your energy, and that's what you're using to manifest what you do and what you put out there, and that's what they're feeling. And they hate it. So the second card coming from the Earth Magic Oracle is Cave, Sanctuary. There's a strong message in this card. If you look at it, you see a person in a cave and they're doing artwork on the wall, they're painting, they're decorating their space. It's also it's something very sacred and special, very spiritual to them. And this card is not saying it's time to, because of all the haters, run into a cave and hide. Not at all. You go into that cave, you make it your own, and you decorate it. It's and in times of hardship and struggle. Okay, let me rephrase this on that card. Some years ago, I worked at a national park called Mesa Verde National Park in Colorado, right? And there were different theories about why people lived in the cliff dwellings. They're amazing places. And some were saying, oh, they were hiding from enemies and doing all these things, and they were afraid for their lives. And so they were trying to defend and protect themselves. Yet at the same time, they were painting their buildings. They were creating amazingly beautiful pottery with beautiful decorations, pottery that was highly priced at that time because it was on the trade routes and went all over the place. You find Mesa Verde pottery everywhere. Today, it's a highly collectible thing. That style that the Pueblos have continued doing over the years, Acoma being one of them, Santa Clara, these different Pueblos. So what that shows is that were they hiding in desperation in these caves? Well, if they were fearful for their lives, why were they doing this beautiful artwork and decoration? It shows that no, it was a peaceful time because art doesn't flourish in times of crisis. Art flourishes when the people have time to have their basic needs met and they can focus on other things. So in your cave and sanctuary, this represents your spiritual place, your safe place, wherever that is. It's not a physical location. It's inside of you. So this is the time, in spite of all the haters, you take that and you go into your sacred spiritual place. And that's where you spend the time decorating it, making it more meaningful, filling it with things that give you more power. It's not a retreat. It's a sanctuary. And that's what you're asked to do right now, in spite of everything coming against you with the haters. Find your bliss, find your secret place, your magic garden, and focus on that. That meditation, word meditation is coming to mind on this. What I'm hearing, meditation. It's when you're going inside and you're getting those answers that you seek, because that's really the only thing that you should be listening to of what's coming into you, into your sanctuary, your cave, because those are the voices that matter, not the hate around you. The things that come into your sacred place are going to protect you automatically, spiritually, against that hate. You are you're dealing with you're dealing with a lot of hate right now. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. It's trying to block you and stop you because you know what you're supposed to be doing. You have all of that. You know that, and you know the path that you're supposed to follow. And that path leads to making a lot of change for different people. And so something's trying to stop you. There are people that are hating on you and they don't even know why. They just are going with something and they're just hating. Ignore that. The more they hate you, feel better about the path that you're on. That's a clear sign that you are doing everything right. We talked today a lot, and it's always been around, but about the Christ consciousness, about how there's just a real strong return of that Let's look at Christ for a minute. Jesus, he walked on earth and he did amazing things and he was hated. He was actually crucified by his own people, by the religious establishment of his own people. So if he went through that, imagine what you and other people in similar situations are going to go through too. We are not supposed to be, but we are going to be hated and despised by the stand that we take. People will push against it to try to stop it because they're not comfortable with it. They see it as a threat. It's a threat to their mindset, to how they believe about things, and how in their heads they have said it's this way or it's no way. That's not what we're here to comply with. You are not a sheep. You are a person that follows the lead of your shepherd. And the voice of your shepherd is not the haters around you. The voice of your shepherd is what you are going to hear when you're in that private, secret place, that sanctuary, that cave. Remember that in the Bible, that before any great prophet went out and delivered some important message, there was a time of separation, of isolation for them. They were into a wilderness for 40 days or however long it was. And in that time, there was nothing around them to distract them. It was them and their creator. And they received the message they were supposed to give. They would go forth and deliver it, and then usually run for their lives because people were trying to kill them because they didn't want to hear it. But they delivered it anyway. And that's kind of in life where you may be and where a lot of people are. You're in this time right now of isolation and your wilderness, and you're asked to retreat into that. As bad as it gets around you, retreat into that to get the information that you need. And retreating into a wilderness does not mean social media, television, all the different things. It means going within into your safe place, because that's where your answers are. And that's also where your support and your strength, and that's where your power is. So keep doing what you're doing. You are doing something right. If they didn't hate you, that would be a sign that something's wrong, maybe. But if you have haters, you're on the right track. Don't give up. Gemstone Reiki, thank you so much for your comment on the reading before. I really appreciate you, and I'm happy that you're here, one of my subscribers and followers. And I hope that everyone has learned something from this. I certainly have. It was a beautiful message for today. Thank you so much for following me on the metaphysical journey, and I will see you next time.